Hi, I'm Greg Gavaziak,
And I'm Luke Phillips.
and this is the Semi Crazy Podcast, the podcast by truckers for truckers. There, we'll try that.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm 2 bars, you're 3, so I think we're good.
That's normal.
That is about normal.
I'll just turn that off.
Turn the ringer off?
Yeah,
Oh, there's a good idea.
because I just started a shit show. Don't need that going off.
You do that from time to time.
Well, yeah.
Okay, hit record.
Recording.
Recording. Okay. Try it now.
Testing.
No, we're only 2 bars.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
All right, we're recording?
Yeah.
All right.
It's fucking go time.
Go time. Go time 2. Yeah.
Yes.
The struggle.
Yeah. The cleaning the computer. Do you think it was that? Did we jinx it?
I think the computer got pissed off that we were saying we were going to pressure wash it.
Yeah. Yeah. Turns out, did you Google that? Not good.
Not good. No. Survey says.
Yeah. Take it to the computer wizard.
Yeah, but that's not in the budget, so.
Yeah. So, and if this computer actually does what we
Tell it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's our one good computer.
Yeah, one good computer out of 3. Jeez.
Well, I mean, my Mac's a good computer, but it's just not very portable.
No, it wouldn't be.
No, it's really
Too much setup.
Yeah, I don't know. I keep bucking the trend to be an Apple guy, but it's gaining momentum.
Well, when you get a different phone, then that's true. The true test. You really got to fly around here right now.
That's because you were talking about the government on 5G.
That's right. Yeah, now we're gonna get bombed or something.
Spied on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely getting spied on.
Well, it's Canadian government. That's why it's not like a jet at high altitude.
Yeah. It's just a little single
Old
engine.
An old prop plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh. So, how was your week?
This week was good.
Yeah.
I coming off of a breakdown, so I had a week off 2 weeks ago. The week that we drank our problems away was the week that I was broke down.
So now you've been go time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a head gasket
Yeah.
because I blew that in 3 places. Got it retuned so I don't do that again because that was definitely in direct correlation with my right foot.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, things are good. New tune's way better anyway. Like, I'm pulling hills in the same gear, just with 30 pounds of boost less.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, about 30 pounds on the boost and 200-ish on the pyro less.
That's, much more better.
Much more better. And it's not like my pyro ran hot before, but that's hot. Don't just stick your finger in your coffee.
Yeah, so not a drinking podcast, but I mean Jameson's and coffee is kind of
that's how everything should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for morning.
Yeah, and it's weekend, so
Yeah.
minor detail.
Yeah. No driving will be done after the
No,
podcast.
No, we don't need any of that activity.
No. Well, it would be nice if it didn't sound like we were in a shop.
Right?
Or an airport or
Yeah, I don't get it. It sounds like I live in town all of a sudden.
Yeah, no. That's why we come out here for the solitude and
Neighbor breaks out the Sawzall.
Yeah. Yeah. Not...
But because it's so quiet is why you notice it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it carries. That's just the way it is. What are you gonna do?
Yep.
Yeah.
How was your week?
Good. Really good. I went moved an oversized building at just under 15 wide down to Oregon. And yeah, that was actually a nice little run. Not really overly stressful. Couldn't go through at Kingsgate because they got all kinds of construction there. And actually to run through there at like 10 wide would be sketchy right now because of all the bridge construction. It's really super narrow.
I went through Kingsgate once. And I could definitely, I could see if that was construction, it'd be a problem. But that's once you cross there, that drive down is
Oh,
beautiful.
oh yeah, his gorgeous drive coming home was awesome because I had two crates on, and all of the actually the whole week paid good. Not a lot of miles, just a lot of wait time, but that's all right. Give me lots of time to do other stuff because I mean it just moved.
Yeah.
So yeah, having just done a move last weekend and barely got all my shit into the house, and not like
Now you gotta change addresses and all that shit.
yeah, nowhere near set up yet. Like, didn't sleeping on a mattress on the floor kind of thing. Like, which will probably be for, well, I don't know. Hopefully, get some of that shit looked after today. But yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah, that'll require a little bit more ambition than I currently have. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, good week, all in all. Then yeah, I got the truck off to the wash, so which I believe it got washed.
Yeah.
Pick it up this afternoon.
It was washed when I went by yesterday. Sitting
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't get dusty where it's sitting.
No, I asked about that. I called. I was like, how dusty's your yard? She's like, oh, no, it's fine, and we're not busy tonight. I'm like, all right, perfect.
Oh, it'll be good.
Yeah.
I'll wheel over there and then just move it to the Petro and then maybe find myself a ride later and run down and grab it, take it back to Nisku. Actually, it doesn't really matter. I just don't want to leave it there for the whole time that I'm gone.
Isn't it, when's it going to the dealer?
It probably won't go now till Tuesday.
Like this Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd leave it parked. I wouldn't see a problem parking it at the Petro for that long.
yeah. Yeah, maybe you can call your connection. Hey, there's going to be another truck there.
Just go put it in front of my trailers at the other Petro.
Ah,
Because I've already got a spot there.
yeah.
And you're not that guy.
No.
Nobody likes that guy.
Who parks all weekend?
And takes up a whole spot for a bobtail.
Oh, no, I'm not Bobtail. I got my trailer.
Oh, yeah, then I'd park there.
Yeah. Doing a reset.
That's right. Nobody, I don't know. I don't see many guys actually spending the weekend in their truck at that truck stop.
No, no.
It's not the place to be.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, hopefully I can get it in, and hopefully we can get a couple little things sorted out that are bugging me, we'll say. I
Yeah,
don't want to dive too deep into it, but
because they haven't had a chance to redeem themselves yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, so. But, yeah, no, had a good week. It's kind of actually nice to revert back to that where you're not, like, running.
Yeah,
Which is just the opposite of your week, but,
it's harvest.
yeah.
I was busy.
Yeah, so anyways, I had a good time.
I had one night this week that I pulled in, and the elevator closed at 7, and I pulled in at 7:35, and they're just closing the door. So,
Oh,
yeah, that sucked.
yeah.
I was the lineup at that point. Man, they are making a racket today.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have fun dealing with that on the producing side.
I think you just leave it in. Leave it
Yeah.
natural.
They can figure it out.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
We never claim to know what we're doing or anything like that. And anybody that listens can clearly see that.
Well, actually, I think we claim really hard to be the other way. So if we actually had a perfectly quiet,
If we had our shit together,
then people wouldn't.
they wouldn't think it was us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be unsemi crazy like.
that's right. Yeah, no, I can't believe the difference in my truck
Yeah.
with that tune. Like, I thought for sure I was going to have a power loss changing those numbers, but it just feels healthier. Like, the thing with my truck is it pulled cattle before I bought it.
Oh, okay.
So that tune was probably fine pulling, I tried them around. But then you put Super B behind it.
Yeah.
That changes things.
Well, and there's so much in tuning. I think some people really know what they're doing with it because they understand both the electronic side and they understand the mechanical side.
Yeah.
And then other people just go look at numbers and go, "Oh, me put more fuel,
Oh, yeah, like my fuel numbers that were in there on the last tune were ridiculous.
more fuel, more boost. What else do you need? Oh, look, we got all of this." And then it's also not looking like, even if you put it on the dyno with more fuel and more boost, yeah, you will make more power, but it is not.
Yeah, but you're trying to make torque with a truck. You're not trying to make power,
Yeah, and
right?
and you can make torque and power, but you want to do it properly with the
Efficiently, yeah.
yeah. So it's just like back in the day, the trucks that rolled coal were the trucks that were quote unquote, you know,
Yeah, cool kids.
yeah, and that was the one that was, oh well, that truck really pulls. Look at all the coal it's rolling. Well,
Yeah.
no, that's just raw fuel.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the support. Like, prime example is my pickup. I
Yeah.
got that O2 Cummins, and I did injectors. So I went bigger, thinking, oh, I'll do the turbo later. And now it's unhealthy at this point.
Yeah,
It-
you gotta match everything to it. It's just like when you go build an engine for a drag car or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and the guy that did my tuning, he's a very reputable name.
Yeah.
He's got a drag truck, so he knows.
yeah,
Yeah.
No one understands. Yeah, you put in this tune when you're all stock. Okay, well now you're gonna put bigger injectors and a bigger turbo. Well then
Yeah,
you can add a
exactly.
little bit to it, but you also don't want to do all that stuff on top of a bottom end that's maybe got a whole pile of,
Yeah, right, weak bottom end. And that was what I told him when we were talking about tuning, is I said I just want usable power. Whatever you can give me that I can use and isn't going to harm it, because I'm not the type that holds it on the floor all day by any means.
Yeah.
But when I need to or want to, I want it to be usable, right?
yeah. And I mean, you can build an engine that has usable power and has 800 or 900 horsepower and 2,800 foot-pounds of torque. You can do it if you don't use it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's probably not recommended for something like Bone Super Bs where you're constantly in it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, when you build that motor, you don't put that tune on a stock bottom end or an older, if you have a fresh rebuild and you go through and you make sure that everything is up to snuff. Well,
Good and tight.
but then you're going to have 80 grand into a motor,
Well, exactly, right?
and I don't know. That's not in my cards.
Honestly, I would go that way personally, rather than buy a new truck.
But that's you.
Yeah, oh, exactly, and that's anybody that is an owner operator isn't doing it for somebody else, right? They're doing it the way that they want to do it.
Yeah,
And I catch shit all the time for
old truck.
old truck, right? From so many guys, right?
One in particular.
Oh, just this week one. No, two of them this week, fucking guys. But I don't know. I like it.
Oh yeah, and it is what you like. I mean, and I've talked about it before. I did it too.
Yep.
I had times where I was more on that side of it, and I'll have another old truck one day, but it just won't be when I'm doing full time with it.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fucking challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I do kind of envy you guys that can close the door on fucking Friday and just forget where your keys are until Monday.
Yeah, and at some point in your life, you got kids and everything else, and you want to have your weekend to be your weekend. Well, you might just
Oh, 100%. I'm not saying I'll never buy a new truck,
Oh, yeah.
but honestly, at this point, if I was going to spend that kind of money, and let's face it, you're not spending your money, right?
Yeah.
You need a down payment on. If I had to go and spend 100 and whatever on a new truck on a down payment, I would rather take that money for a down payment and put it on down payment. Fuck, I see a down payment enough times.
down payment on down payment.
Yeah, that's right. But anyway,
if you got to
long-
put a down payment on your down payment, you should probably save a little more money.
yeah, you should probably reassess who you're running for. Crap. Possible derail a train of thought. Or no, here it is. I would rather restore my truck than go with something new. Right? But that's just me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that I like about my truck that has honestly very little to do with the motor.
Yeah.
That they just don't have in new trucks.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, the hardest thing, I guess, with that is getting financing for that.
Yeah, you got to go on an operating loan, and then you're basically working for the bank. They want to see your income every month and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, yeah. So it makes it is a more it's a more challenging route. But guys do it. There's ways around all of it, right?
Oh yeah, and I'd feel way better about putting 80 grand. Like when you look at the final numbers, in my mind, put 80 grand into a motor on a truck that's paid for, or go and put 180 grand into a truck that's new. Right? It all depends on the base that you're working with.
Yeah.
Like my truck, I know now. Yeah, it's solid. there's one diff on it that is still original. Yeah, I think it's original. It wasn't done by me or the previous owner, but other than that, like, everything's done.
Yeah.
So, and we just had the head off, so we know what everything looks like in there. The only thing we don't know about is bottom end bearings, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop pan here soon-ish, maybe next service, because I've got those alternative dipstick ports on these motors. So there's 2 or 3 of them. 2 of them for sure, because I got 2 of them that are leaking. On the swapper side, just above the pan, that's like a foam almost plug that wears out, so it starts leaking there. But the only way to do it is, well, there's a couple ways to do it, but it's got to come out the top. So you either drop the pan and pound it up, or when you're prepared to drop the pan and pound it up, you try and put a wood screw in there and pop it up that way.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with dropping the pan and checking main bearings anyway, right?
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all.
Especially before winter.
Yeah. No, then I guess, I don't know if I ever explained my theory on it. Like, I mean, my buy new every 3-year theory or not, but like, so my numbers is you buy a truck, you're always going to have a payment, so you make that initial down payment, and really usually when you work at it, like, yeah, you're 180 to 220, anywhere in there. Like, if you buy a real fancy Pete or Kenworth or Star for that matter, you're at 220.
Oh yeah, easy, yep.
Yeah, and then so you have your 20 grand-ish down, you put it down on the first one, and then when you load it up with warranty, and when you get to the 3-year mark, you got about 600K on it, ish. You're just past your break-even point. And so generally you can get as much or more on a trade as you would get as you owe on the truck.
Yeah, especially if you're loaded up with warranty.
Yeah, and it's an easy sell for them to sell it used, because you still have 2.5 years worth of warranty left on it. And so then that truck's more attractive than the truck that the guy didn't buy extended warranty on, and it's also more attractive than the 5-year truck. So if you buy your truck, you take it over 5 years, so your payment is, in the $3,000 to $4,000 range, and then you got the truck that's, say a guy takes it over 5 years and runs it right to the end. Well, at the end you got $1 million on it. $1 million mile truck on trade, 20 to 30 grand tops.
Oh, on a trade, yeah.
Yeah, that's all you'll ever get.
That's when you got to go private.
Yeah, and selling it outright, well, then, you go through the, I'll be there tomorrow, and I'm buying your truck, and then the guy doesn't show up, and all that other shit. And so anyways, I'm not a fan of that. But you also, a 1 million kilometer truck is a different buyer, and it's also a harder sell, and you got no warranty on it.
Yep.
So you trade it then, you still have that $3,000-4,000 a month payment, but you don't have to put another down payment down. And then, so from now until you decide to stop trucking, that's my payment. That's my cash outlay every month. Because in those first 3 years, you're not, you might do a set of brakes, depends on how much you use brakes.
Jeez, yeah. Yep, maybe. You shouldn't.
No, and especially if you put discs on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And the new trucks have better jakes. I mean, you can concede that.
Oh, 100%, yeah. My Cat Jake, like, yeah.
You might as well fart out the window.
Yeah. Basically run it for the noise. Like, it holds back, but
yeah, turbo Jake yours is still better than an old 6NZ.
Yeah, 100%. But nothing compares to a Cummins.
No, even my Detroit doesn't.
You look at the engineering side of it, right? Cummins figured it out. Well, it takes up room on the camshaft, but we don't want to give up that much room, so put another one in.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and their Jake works well, and they use a turbo. There's also a turbo brake on it.
VGT turbo, yeah.
And then same with, actually, the Mack Volvo, Mack calls it a power leash. Everything with them is about a dog. I know. I still like Macks. I mean,
old Macks, yeah. Our model. Shit, yeah.
But their powertrain, I actually wish you could get that Volvo Mack powertrain in different trucks, but
I can't comment.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't have an opinion.
Yeah.
See, and now coming, like, so that's another way that a guy like myself might go, is once my truck's paid off, which is right around the corner, like, it's not far away, then reassess on what what I want to do, or
And
whatever.
Just keep it.
Well, park it in the corner of your yard is paid for.
Yeah.
Then go buy a new truck, right?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm coming up on I'm past my 6 month mark now.
Yeah.
So when I'm not busy, I'm pretty sure at the end of the day that I'm probably into it for the same amount as you are per month.
Yeah,
by the
probably.
time you counted my repairs and stuff.
Yep. That's kind of where I always feel between new and used. You're at about the same number.
Yeah, and exactly. For me, this works really well because I wanted an old truck.
Yeah.
I've always wanted this type of truck, and there was no way I could pull off buying a new truck
Yeah.
at the time, right?
Yep.
But no, don't get me wrong. There's times where I'm like, huh, that warranty would be nice right now.
Yeah, well, and like you say, maybe when it's paid for, you park it in the corner, and then you can always drive it. You got it fixed up, and you got it dolled up the way you want. And you can put personal plates on it and pull your holiday trailer with it. if
Oh,
you want.
exactly, right?
Fuck, whatever. Like,
Yep.
drop the front axle out of it, and put a deck on it, and have your quads, and pull your holiday trailer, and get a cool.
Now you're caught up on my train of thought.
Now there you go.
Yeah.
And then you
Yep.
have your. Then that's your weekend with the truck, and then during the week you're,
Exactly, because like with the bunk that's on it, I don't need really a camper if I was going to go out for the weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, slap the quads on it and away we go.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways to do it, right?
And it's crazy how these old trucks retain their value. Like I could slap a coat of paint on my truck and somebody would probably give me $100,000. Right?
Yeah.
Like I still look at Kijiji. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's still a market for it. Up here more so than in the States, I think.
Yeah, in the States, mine would be that, like, not old enough.
Yeah.
Type.
Yeah, by the time a couple years down the road, it is.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
I don't know, like, that E-Log thing's a whole other kettle of fish. I don't know, I'm not too concerned about the greater picture of things, as bad as that is to say right now, because, I don't know, but bills are paid and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Same thing. I'm liking life on the road.
Yeah. There's times where, for me, it gets boring because I'm doing the same thing all the time. But
yeah.
And yeah, I miss the challenge of, my biggest challenge is, I got to back around a blindside corner.
How'd that work out for you?
2 tries.
We were saying that the other day. Like, I was at actually just yesterday, and the guy said, "Oh, you're sorry to tell you this, but you got to back up around the corner, and then you're gonna have to pull out and back in once this other guy comes out." I'm like, "Oh yeah, no big deal. I'm one of those truckers who can drive in reverse, kind of all cocky and shit, and just a tandem step this time, not like nothing complicated at all." So I backed out around the corner, no problem. And then when I pulled ahead and went to go just back around the other corner and back in, yeah, like 3 stabs, and a little embarrassing.
Well, it goes
humbling.
Yeah, it goes one of 2 ways. I've been asked before up at site, "Oh, are you gonna drop a Jeep so you can back around this corner?" And I'm like, "Nah, we'll try it." And then you get around one shot.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's other times, like you said, that you're halfway around the corner, you're like, okay, hang my head in shame, I'm gonna get out and drop a Jeep now.
Yeah, I just had that the other day at the office because I had to.
At the office, nonetheless, probably had an audience and everything.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was in Regina and had to just I had to split the 8-axle up so that I could go to a site and do just a little RGN move. And so, anyways, they're like, "Well, do you want to just split the Jeep out here?" I'm like, "No, I'll just back the." I said, "I'll just pin the booster and I'll just back it up." And anyways, same thing. Just wheeled it back into the spot, dropped the booster. He's like, "Yeah, guess you've done that before." Yeah, and I hadn't pulled a single Jeep, and I can't remember how long, and just wheeled it back, but I didn't think about it.
Yeah, then that's the thing, is you're not thinking about it. Yeah, just put the truck in gear and get after it.
Yeah, just chase it, and no big deal. So dropped all that. That was actually an interesting little thing to haul, but I think it was way heavier than what they told me. Because I know I never pull that RGN, so I don't know where the gauge read on the trailer. But I had it. It's supposed to be 53,000 pounds, and so it's a shuttle wagon, which I mean you know the story, but I guess no one else is listening is. But a shuttle wagon's just the little thing that pulls
The little
shuttles.
the little train things with wheels on them
Yeah.
that are surprisingly stout.
Yeah.
Yes, I've had a similar experience. We talked about this on the phone. You told me what trailer you were taking. I was like, "There's no damn way you got enough wheels for that."
So I believe mine was probably lighter than the one that you had, but it was still. I don't know. I believe I was legal, and I'm going to believe that.
Well, you got to, yeah.
Yeah, I never went over any scales, so. But I know with that shuttle wagon all the way back at my Tridums, I was just legal on my drives.
There's
Shuttle
no
wagon's,
way.
what, 20 feet long?
Yeah, at best, like 17, I think was the one I hauled.
Yeah.
There's no way you were legal on the back end. Because I showed up to haul one, and I don't remember the model number or anything, but it looked similar to yours.
Yeah.
And they sent me with a 10 axle. And I showed up, and I was like, huh. It doesn't look like I need this much, but we'll load it. And they, office knows best. Yeah, I got to the scale in Atchison, and I was maxed. Everywhere. I was like, oh. Okay. Maybe I wasn't maxed on the booster, because, you could...
Yeah.
That's talent if you can max your booster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like 23 on the drives, 17 on the Jeep, and 23 on the Tridum, yeah. I think I was like 8 or 9 on the booster.
Oh, really?
So I hope it was bigger than the one you hauled, but...
Well, I definitely was, because
How tall were you with yours?
it wasn't that tall.
Yeah, see, I think that's where they vary, is height.
Yeah. It was still a tall, machine, but it wasn't, I wasn't over height. I was 4'4" loaded.
Yeah, I was like 4'9", 5.
Yeah.
Like 4'9" or 5 meters, something.
Yeah, so yours is a bigger one.
Yeah. Was yours red or yellow?
It was red.
Yeah, see, and I know they were the same brand. They're both Trackmasters, or whatever they are.
I think so. I'd have to look at my pictures, but
Yeah.
I got it on the Insta.
Yeah, because the one I hauled was definitely yellow.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, that's how you tell. Heavy ones are yellow.
That's right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't know
It's all
where.
color-coded.
Right? It's yeah. I had a guy once tell me that the numbers on the side of the excavator were how much they cost.
Oh.
Yeah, you bet.
336,000 for a 336.
Yeah.
Seems a little light, but I'd buy one for that.
1.2 million for a 1200. Yeah. Yeah. He was an odd duck though, that one.
Yeah.
And tried to explain to him what they actually mean, and he was having none of it.
Well, there'd be probably a lot of people that have no idea what it means, but I mean, and each manufacturer is a little different in how they number it.
Yeah. Yeah, like John Deere, it's the first two numbers is the rating, and Cat's the last two.
Yeah. And 36 on a 336, that's not dressed.
Well, no, that's capacity. Yeah, it's not how much. Yeah, that's capacity. Yeah.
You mean it's not just...
No.
Oh.
See? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like people say a 330 log loader and they wonder why you need to have so many wheels to haul it.
Yeah, because the 330 log loader is goddamn big.
Yeah, it's way heavier than
a 330. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just the carrier is a 330. Then you add the high and wide and the heavier tracks.
And the button top assembly and
the tall cab.
Yeah, and that stout boom and grapple.
Guarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
that guarding can be surprisingly heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you get like a 325 with bush guarding on it and a processor head is a surprisingly heavy machine.
Well, those processor heads are like 8,000 pounds by themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, and we're probably talking Greek for people that don't do logging stuff, but yeah, processor head is for actually processing wood to length, cut to length.
Yeah, it's like a little spinny, grabby thing with a chainsaw on it.
That's a good way to describe it. I like how you put things in layman's terms for people.
I try.
I'm like, okay, you use it to process, and I'm going deep into it. You're like, spinny, grabby thing, chainsaw head.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But if you know what it is, you're like, huh, yeah. I was talking on the phone with a buddy this week. I can't remember what I said, but he just started laughing. He's like, no, on this episode of Shit Luke Says.
Should we change the podcast to Shit Luke Says? Or is that a separate podcast?
We can barely keep our shit together for this one, let alone the second one.
Let alone adding one. Yeah, you make a good point. got quiet now that we're not talking.
Yeah, right? As soon as the coffee needs to be drank, then everything stops.
Yeah. No, I actually miss I missed hauling equipment, even just hauling that shuttle wagon and a few other things. I keep thinking it's going to come out at the top of the thermos.
Yeah, that thermos
I
gets me every time.
I almost poured it all over my magazine. Almost, but not quite.
Oh, speaking of pouring stuff on stuff,
Speaking of pouring,
pouring, yeah. I've got that top slide out drawer in my bunk, the
Yeah.
feet work top drawer, and I put all my bills under that. And then I was pouring my coffee the other day, and spilt coffee. Well, my
Oh.
bill, just like you did just now, yeah, just like that.
all over the log truck.
Oh, way to go! The only picture in the whole damn magazine,
Yeah.
and you got coffee on it.
Yeah, other than ads, there's really not a lot of pictures. I'm a little,
Disappointed.
yeah. So, I mean, I know that Truck Logger BC, I'll say what it is more about like what's going on in the industry, and there's actually a lot of good information in there, especially if you're in logging.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But sometimes I'm a picture guy.
Yeah, for a guy that just wants to look at trucks, there's a lot of words in here.
Yeah, there are not too many big words, so I mean,
Well, that's good. Maybe I could read it.
yeah, yeah. They still have pictures on there from when they did that convoy. Remember that last year?
I was gonna say, wasn't that like a year ago?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's on the cover.
Yeah. So when they did that was a surprisingly large convoy of log trucks.
Well, I mean, when a guy's sitting around with nothing better to do, he's got a log truck in his front yard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I haven't talked to any guys out in BC lately to see what the state of that industry is in out there right now. I mean, I've seen lots of logs moving when I've been out there, but yeah, I don't.
See, and all I can really tell you about the logging industry is it's not happening in Saskatchewan.
Oh,
Yeah, I have not seen a log truck lately.
that's true, but I mean, you see more of them up north, anyways, like PA area, and so I don't know, how much they haul.
The farthest north I get's like North Battleford.
Yeah.
That's on my way home, yeah.
You're not really going to PA area.
No.
anyways.
I did have a load to North Battleford this week.
Yeah.
And when I got the text about it, I was like, huh, odd. Meant I have to bounce up that damn Highway 4.
Not enjoyable.
No, well, I mean, it's fine to Rosetown, but anything past that sucks. Especially north of Bigger.
Yeah,
That is terrible.
I'm not gonna tell everybody your phone number, but when I need to go someplace in Saskatchewan and I'm not sure about it, what route to take, because the Google you can't fucking trust.
Turn left. Oh, look, an 8-ton road. Shit.
Yeah. So which I did one night because I didn't call. I call Luke the Saskatchewan travel agent.
I could wear that badge.
Yeah, and because you travel more Saskatchewan roads than anybody I know, so I call him. He'd be like, "Yeah, avoid that road. Don't go down there. That's too rough.
Yeah.
This turns into 8-ton. This does it."
And if I don't know, then I have friends that know.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll call you back. Gotta consult with my higher ups in the travel agency here.
Yeah, it's like on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Or Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I got to call a friend.
Yeah. And then your friend has to call a friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a 50-50 on this one.
There you go. Yeah. Is that show even still around?
I don't think so. I don't know. I never watched TV.
I haven't had cable TV in years.
Well,
Just Netflix.
I got it again for hockey, and then now that I'm in the new place, I have my internet hooked up. My TV's still sitting on the floor.
Might
I
as well
haven't
just put the
unplugged-
TV in your Star at this point.
Well, that TV's a little big for the Star. I was in need of a TV, and I was saying I was going to go buy a new TV, and my dad just showed up to the move with a TV
Oh yeah.
that he got out of the bunker, and he's like, well, you said you need a TV, so he gives me there. It's not, it's a nice TV. It's not a smart TV though, and I'm kind of used to smart TV because I like to watch the Netflix, and I never would have even been that guy before.
See, and I thought if my dad was to pull a TV out of the bunker, it would be a tube TV. Yeah.
See, I'm pretty lucky. Like my old man likes tech and stuff like that, so and I mean, he does well for a 70-year-old guy. He does pretty well with the tech.
Yeah.
And I mean, they got grandkids and me on tech support if my parents need stuff. Like both my parents have pretty modern phones. Like my mom's rocking an S10 and dad's got an, I don't know, iPhone 7, 8. I don't. They all look the same.
Yeah.
I mean, the new one is a little bit different, but yeah. So, but yeah, they got a smart TV and they got that stuff, and he'll go on like sometimes he'll see like a thing on Kickstarter or whatever where a guy's like doing a new electric bike and he thinks it looks cool, so he'll kick in a few bucks to it to see if he can get, and then they ship it and maybe it's up to snuff. Like he did get one a few years ago. It was pretty cool, but it didn't last very long. And it was heavy as shit. Like, it was an electric mountain bike.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yeah, it would be.
Yeah, my kid rode it around. Like, he enjoyed it, but it wasn't like you could pull wheelies with it or anything. And I don't know if that company ever took off, but...
Still cool to... I mean, that's retired life. Why not, right?
Yeah, like, check it out. And if it's... there was a drone thing where it was, like, one of those drones where you throw it up in the air for photography. And like a following drone or whatever. So you threw some money at that, and they send you a prototype or whatever, or one of the first 100 if they actually get them made, kind of things. And
well, that's cool.
So yeah, he's into that stuff, which is I think is cool too.
Yeah, and see, my dad's the opposite. He's got a flip phone, and now that he's living the semi-retired life, he is gardening because he hates grass. So he's got a house in town, and
and no grass.
Yeah, we went in there when I was 14, so 10 years ago. We ripped the lawn up and laid sod, made it all nice. And then, like, 3 years ago, he calls me on a Friday or something. He's like, I need you to bring a skid steer from work over here and an end dump. I'm like, you live in town.
Yeah.
What the hell do we need an end dump for? But okay. And don't question Dad, right?
Yeah.
I showed up. He's like, yeah, all the grass. Just take it right out of here. I'm like, okay. And then he had a rotor tiller. And so there's a story. You know the self-propelled rear tine?
Yeah.
Well, his topsoil was so hard underneath that sod that I've, wound it up, right? Go to put it down. That friggin' thing took off on the tines. Tines didn't even dig in like a quarter inch. They just
left you.
Yeah, I'm glad it had a dead man clutch on it. Otherwise, it would have been in the house. But yeah, and so now anyway, I don't even know how he got the soil fluffy. Oh yeah, he hauled some in and got it all harrowed in and stuff. Yeah, so now he's got a wildflower garden as his whole front yard.
Oh shit!
And he's got bark mulch and stuff down, so there's no weeds, and keeps him busy.
Well, that's what I think that's the key for people that are retired or semi-retired is being able to find stuff to do. Like, and that's why I think you see these guys that are like truckers or even like industry guys, whatever. They retire, and the work's been their whole life. They got no hobbies, and then they die at like 58. They retired at 55,
right?
Or they retired at 60. They're like, okay, I'm retiring. I've saved all this money. I worked my bag off.
Now what am I going to do?
Yeah, and then they're sitting around, got nothing to do. And
yeah,
then
their body's
die.
like, okay,
yeah.
You're done? All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm super happy. My dad's got lots of hobbies,
Yeah, I was concerned about that too with my dad. But yeah, he just took over my mom's hobby. It was kind of funny.
As long as they don't argue too much about it, then it's okay.
No, it works.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's good for him.
Oh, that's good. No, I won't have any shortage of hobbies. I still got lots of stuff to...
I got a long time before I got to think about that.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little bit older.
Yeah, I'm definitely no Freedom 35.
Well, I'm not Freedom 45 because that's coming up in March. So I mean, I got to revisit that one. 55 might be a stretch yet, but
I think this day and age, if you can, especially in trucking, if you can get out of it by 60,
yeah,
you're doing damn good.
Well, and you can have many different iterations in. Like, I mean, I've transformed back and forth between being on the ground and then being in the office, and there's so many different jobs, right? That I don't know. I think a guy can even stay involved if you want to in some fashion into later life. Like my
I know a guy that's like, I don't know an exact age, but he hauled the first D10 to Syncrude.
Oh,
so he's old.
Yeah,
and he's still trucking. Up and down the road, pulling 13 axle, C500 down to the States. And not a new C500.
Oh, no?
No, old, small hole, 36 flat.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, thank you. But the guys that grew up around that, then that's fine for them. They don't care.
Yeah, that's him. Like, that's how he's gonna be. Yeah. I remember the first time I worked with him was years ago. I was in a push truck, and I woke up from a nap, and he was a trailer operator. I looked in my mirror, and I thought he was dead. A cigarette in his mouth, just sleeping. And I grabbed the radio. I was like, "Hey!" And he sits up. Yep, ready to go. Jeez, man. Okay.
Oh shit! We went down to Sturgis a couple years back. Well, we went last year, but we went a couple years back, and there's a group of guys from Red Deer that own a place, like right downtown, and so we stayed on their lawn. Like, they rent out the whole lawn to people
Right on.
for all of Sturgis, right?
Yeah.
And so you rent your camping spot and you stay there all weekend, and there's like community coolers, and then they have barbecues and all kinds of shit going on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. And so this guy's there. Like, first day we get there, set the tent up and everything, going to have some beers in the back by the garage. Just a decent sized place, right? And so I grab beer, and then I look over, and there's this guy that's like, he's 70 apiece a day, and he's like 108 pounds soaking fucking wet, and he's riding an old panhead, hardtail panhead Harley, and he's setting the points on it, and
Awesome.
yeah. And so I started talking to him, like, so you rode? Well, of course I fucking rode down, he said. Like, it's like, well, I'm not like these pussies that ride these couches down. Like, I literally rode my bagger all the way down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am one of those guys, apparently.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I'm definitely not one of those guys that fucking trailer down here, right? And, but that's just him. That's, for him, that's riding.
Yeah.
Like, and he rode down in one shot. I think we might have to,
Evacuate?
yeah.
Are we precipitating?
You've been listening to the Semi Crazy Podcast.
If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. You can find me on Instagram, Luke Dirk Phillips.
And you can find me on Instagram, Semi Crazy Inc., and on Facebook, Semi Crazy Truck Pictures. Thanks for listening.